Spyro, the Lost Eggs contest submission sent in by one of our Discord builders, Darknova, and they say, I picked Spyro because I love the Spyro games as a kid and I wanted to make a Spyro-themed coaster for the contest. Also, with the remastered trilogy coming out later this year, it would be a great way to celebrate Spyro's huge comeback. A lot of people will turn away from the ride, but only a few of them will get on. If this happens, just put the time on fast until there is a good amount of people in the queue. The reason for it is because I could not get the fear down. Uh-oh. The indoor section of the ride looks better at night, but the outdoor section looks better at day. Okay, I can already give you some feedback here. Use the day-night sequencer that comes with the game so that it's nighttime inside and daytime outside. It only switches when you are on the rider perspective. Boom. All right, everyone, let's make our way through the queue here in the Spyro cave. Here we are. We got another launch torque coaster in this one here today. Here's a look at the stats. We got a 3.54 excitement, 9.55 fear, and a 5.1 nausea. There's a look at the rest of the stats if you want to see them, and I'll cut to it when one arrives. Boom, there it is. Quite cute, fun, playful. Love the colors on the track here. Definitely Spyro vibe on the coaster itself. But we definitely have some feedback for you, so let's get right on into it. So you said the fear was too high, you couldn't get it lower. Well, there's many reasons on this coaster specifically why the fear is so high and ways you can get it down. First of all, you're doing a lot of track in a very tight area. The coaster itself was very short, and for a video game, coaster contest submission, you have this whole map to work with. This is technically the size of a blueprint, if not smaller, and I think you really were restricting yourself to a very confined space. And by doing so, you're trying to, do a lot with the track in a very small spot, and that's going to be harder to smooth and bank, and you're switching the G-forces from left to right and up to down. It's quite all over the place. One tip I would give you is when you drop down these big drops, don't straighten it out so quickly. Give that some smoothing, get that nice and arced, and play around with that smooth tool a lot. That's what we're seeing throughout these areas, and honestly, that smooth tool is not going to help you out too much because there's not much space to play with here. Your coaster track is very tight. Going through here, you can see it could use some smoothing, but the way I would have done this is to have that way larger. We're again dropping straight into a straight. It's very jarring, and then we go into a turn. So I think some of those, you know, hard drops, those hard straightaways, the hard turns, all that stuff needs to be smoothed out, but it also needs more length. It's happening too quickly. Everything's too tight. Aesthetically, I love all your little dragons, the Spyros, the dragons, the buildings, the castles. Definitely has a Spyro feel, but if you Google Spyro environments, well, you see a lot of floating islands. You see luscious green valleys. It's almost like green-topped grass with brown around the back, capped off. You almost see like kind of like the Hobbit Shire feeling areas. Gorgeous green valleys. That's what I think of. Floating islands, fun little fantasy buildings, maybe some castles in there, all that stuff. So I feel like what you could have done here is if you gave yourself some more space to work with, you could have had some floating islands, you could have had some bridges going from each one to each one, some castles, a village on one, a castle on the other, and some rolling hills, and the coaster would have a lot more room to explore and go around, where it's just all happening too quick here. We don't have any time to soak up any of these characters. There's no room for storytelling. We just kind of see the characters about, and we go by them so quickly we don't get to see. This is one of the ice creatures from the Iceland in the game. You could have done that as one of the floating islands, have like an icy area, use your paint tools to your advantage, have a white in that palette. There you go. So for me, I just give yourself more breathing room next time, and that would be my main feedback. Giving yourself more breathing room, you're naturally going to find yourself designing a better coaster, and you're going to have way more room to decorate and play with your terrain. Just by default, I feel like your creation will come out better because you gave yourself more room to breathe. So that's my feedback, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, as you guys get to decide on the first, second, and third place winners of this contest. So keep an eye on the community tabs on the channel so you can vote at the end of this bracket. And that's going to do it for this episode of Coaster Spotlight, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more daily Planet Coaster videos. If you'd like to support the show, you could do so by becoming a patron. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next contest entry. Bye now.